Welcome to the ACD Queues Pro guide, where we will walk you through the complete setup of ACD Queues Pro. Before we dive into ACD Queues Pro setup, it's important to note that this guide is only for advanced ACD Queues users. If you are a standard ACD Queues user, we created a separate guide to walk you through the setup process. Also, if you are upgrading to ACD Queues Pro from ACD Queues, you do not need to set up your queues again. However, this guide will provide additional options to consider implementing. Now let's get started. To make this guide easy to follow along, we will be breaking this guide into 8 sections and we'll be covering the following topics: adding members, creating a queue, agent login options, managing an existing queue, managing members, performance, queues page overview, and Eavesdrop, Whisper, and Barge. Adding agents. In this guide, we're going to show you how to add ACD Queues Pro members, also known as agents. Please note that there are 3 different levels of access inside ACD Queues Pro. Starting with agents, they have access to the queues. They can also receive calls in queues they are assigned in. Then there is agent managers. Agent managers can access queues. They can receive calls in queues they are assigned in. They can adjust settings of a queue they are manager of, and they can eavesdrop, whisper, and barge on a call. Last but not least, there are system admins. They can do everything that an agent manager can do and more. They can create and delete queues, they can modify any queue, they can access performance, and they can manage members. To manage users, log into your Dash account and then click on the menu icon in the top right corner. Then click on ACD Queues Pro. Then click Begin Session. On the left-hand side, you will see 3 icons: queues, performance, and members. Click on the members icon to manage which users will have access to ACD Queues. Here you will see a list of users on your account who can log into queues. Click on Manage Members to add or remove members to queues. Please note that members in a queue, also known as agents, are billed at a higher rate than standard account users. If you have questions about your plan, we're standing by to help. Now you'll see 2 lists: a list of users not yet granted access to queues on the left and a list of queue members on the right. Click on the users you wish to work with. Then click Add Members to add them to queues, or Remove Members to remove them from queues. Once you've completed this step, you will see that agents were added to the queue. Creating a queue. In this guide, we're going to show you how to create a queue, configure your queue settings, and how to make an agent a manager. Now let's get started. Once you're inside the ACD Queues Pro dashboard, click the queues icon. Then click on Add a new queue in the upper right to add a new queue. Please note that each queue is charged on a monthly basis. Please contact us if you'd like us to help you review your plan. First, you want to give your queue a name. Then you can select the call-in number or extension for your queue from our 3 options. You can select a number from your spare number list, or you can buy a new number, or you can select a new extension. When choosing the extension option, to make sure that you're not using a current extension number on your account, you'll be given a list of your current extensions. Once you've chosen an extension number, click Select Extension. After you have named the queue and assigned it a number or extension, click Next at the bottom of the page. Next, you'll see the behavior configuration options available to you. Call limit allows you to limit the number of concurrent calls in a queue by entering a number in this field. If 0 is selected, there is no limit to the number of concurrent calls in the queue. 0 out of the call flow toggle allows you to route calls to another queue, device, user, or voicemail box. Queue timeout allows you to select the maximum amount of time a call in the queue will be allowed to wait on hold. Display agents to other agents toggle allows your agents to see the status of other agents in the queue. Next, you can toggle on timeout immediately if empty if you want escalation handling to be triggered on if no agents are logged into the queue. You can also toggle on record all calls in this queue if you want all incoming calls in the queue to be recorded. Lastly, you can configure the escalation handling settings. Escalation queue allows you to route calls to a second queue when a timeout condition is triggered, such as queue timeout or timeout immediately if empty. Choose the queue you wish the call to roll over to. If you choose none, the call will follow the escalation call flow after timeout selection. Escalation call flow after timeout is the final escalation of a call that started in the queue. You can send the call to another queue, user, device, or voicemail box. When you are done, click Next at the bottom of the page. Now let's select how calls should be routed to agents. Here you'll see 7 options, starting with most idle. This allows you to prioritize routing calls to agents with the highest percentage of idle time since the last call handled. Next is least calls handled. You can prioritize routing calls to agents with the least amount of calls handled for their current session. Next is least offers made, which allows you to prioritize routing calls to agents with the least amount of call offers made to them for their current session. Then you can select round robin, which equally distributes the calls among all agents assigned to the queue. Then there's strict skill-based routing. If no agents are tagged with a skill associated with a call entering the queue, the call will be routed to the specified escalation queues. Last but not least, there's loose skill-based routing. If no agents are tagged with a skill associated with a call entering the queue, the call will be routed to the next available agent. Once you've selected an option here, click Next. Now it's time to select the hold treatment. The hold treatment page allows you to configure the experience flow for your callers that are waiting to connect to an agent. There are 4 actions available. You can announce position. The system will announce the inbound caller's position in the queue. Announce wait. The system will announce expected wait time. Next is pause. Pause will measure silence in seconds. You can also select media files. You can select any media file you have on your system, or upload a new media file to play back while the caller is on hold. Files should be recorded in mono, be in a WAV or MP3, and be larger than 1 megabyte in size. You can customize the hold flow by selecting the actions you'd like to play, in order, and specifying the details for each where necessary, like selecting media files or setting the number of seconds to pause. You can have multiple instances of each action option. When you're done selecting your hold options, click Next. Then once you're on the agent behavior page, you have several options, such as agent connect timeout. This is how long a call will be offered to an agent measured in seconds. Then there's force await on rejected and missed calls. If this is toggled on, the system will automatically set an agent as away for 1 minute if they miss or reject a call. That away duration will increase if the agent has successive missed calls. The agent can manually mark themselves ready at any time. Then there's the recovery time toggle options. If you allow agent recovery time, this will allow the agent to have buffer time after a call to finish notes, etc., before they're offered another queue call. You also have the option to allow recovery time extension. If toggled on, this will allow agents to extend their recovery time. Then there's allow multiple extensions. If checked, agents may use multiple recovery time extensions. When you're done with this page, please click Next at the bottom of the page. On the member assignment page, you'll be able to assign agents to the queue you just created. First, click on the names of the agents you want to assign to the queue, and then click the Assign to Queue button. You may also make a person an agent manager on the page by clicking on their name and choosing Manager from the drop-down menu. When you are done, click on Next on the bottom of the page. On the last page, you'll be given the option to review and confirm the configuration for your new queue. Please note that you can download or preview this review using the links in the upper right. You can click on the pen icon next to any section to edit that section's settings. If you are satisfied with the queue settings, click Create Queue, and then you're all done. Agent login options. So the first thing you're going to want to do is log into your Dash account. Once you're in your Dash account, you want to click on the hamburger menu in the top right corner. Then click on ACDQs Pro. And after the page loads, click on Begin Session. This logs agents into all queues that they are assigned to and marks them ready to take calls. Agent status will be displayed on the top right of the screen and can be edited by clicking the current status and selecting the desired agent status. Agents may also select their default device here by clicking on the phone icon. This will open the user's full list of available devices. Green icons indicate the device is registered. Red means the device is not registered and should not be selected. As a side note, currently queue calls will only ring to VoIP devices, which include soft phones and the VirtualPBX web phone. Agents can also use feature codes to log in on a registered VoIP device. Here are feature codes agents can use. Agents can also use the VirtualPBX web phone for logging into the queue. You simply go to webphone.virtualpbx.net and click on Begin Session. By default, after you begin the session, you are set to Away status. Click on Away to open the status dropdown, where you'll see the option to make yourself ready. Now you're ready to receive calls from the queue. And then at the end of your shift, click the queue status and select End Session to log out of the queues. Managing an existing queue. So once you're on the queues page, start by clicking on the name of the queue you wish to work on. Then click on the gear icon on the far right. Then select Edit Queue Settings. Alternatively, you may also select Delete Queue to delete this queue from your system. You'll be shown the review screen for your current settings. Either click on the pen icon next to the section you wish to adjust, or in the left-hand menu, click on the name of the section you wish to change. When you are done, click on the Review plus Confirm on the left-hand menu, and then click on Update Queue at the bottom right of the page. Managing members. We make it very easy to manage members in the system. So in order to manage members, you want to first start by clicking on Manage Members in the left side. Here you'll see all the call center members available. You can see things like the member name, session duration, assigned queues, and also you can toggle on call recording here. For additional member options, you can either click on Manage Members or Manage Skills. So first, let's start by clicking on Manage Members. Here on the Member Management page, you'll be able to add call center members to queues. You can also remove members here. Simply click on the person you want to add, then click Add as Members. When you're done editing the members here, you can go back to the Member Management page. Then click on Manage Skills. Here you'll be able to add skills for users. So simply click a user that you want to add a skill for, then click Add Skills. Here you can add a skill like Spanish. If a skill isn't created yet, you can go to the Skills Tag Editor. Here you can add a new skill. Alright, so let's start by adding the skill tag Spanish. Then we're going to want to select a key. So let's select caller ID number, and then select an operator, which will be starts with. Then the value will be +52. Then select Save Changes. Then you'll want to select Exit Editor. Now we can go back and add the skill to Casey. So first we'll want to select the user that we wish to edit, then click Add Skills. Now you'll be able to see Spanish as an option to add as a skill. And now we're all done. And now you'll see that Spanish has been added as a skill to Casey. Performance. So in order to start managing performance, you want to click on the performance icon in the left-hand menu. Once on the performance page, you can select from the agent, queues, or duration. You can click on any drop-down menu to change the agent, or any queue to change the queue, or any duration. Currently, we're only offering one session duration, but in the future, this will change. In addition, you can see things like call handling, you can see activity breakdown, and a lot more. We also give you the option to add another row in order to compare an agent's performance within queues or compare multiple agents. So select Add Row, and then you can select any queue options that you want to compare. When you're done adding the queues you want to compare, you have the option to download the report or print the report. Queues Page Overview. So now let's take a look at the Queues Page Overview. So we'll want to do that by clicking on the Queues button on the far left corner. The Queues page will show you all of the queues. You'll see the queue's name with the phone number or extension of the queue just beneath it. In the next column, you'll see Active, that indicates that you're ready to take calls in the queue. You'll see things like queues and status. You'll see performance. You'll see agents and call handling. Under the performance umbrella, you'll see things like longest wait, calls in queue, and abandoned calls. Longest wait shows you how long inbound callers have been waiting on average. Calls in queue will show you how many calls are currently in the queue. Abandoned shows the number of inbound calls that hung up before an agent could answer. Then under the agent umbrella, you'll see things like ready, that is the number of agents waiting to take a call. Busy will show you the number of agents on a call, and away will show you the number of agents who are marked away. Lastly, under call handling, this shows the health of your queue's call. The more green, the better. Click on the queue's name to see a breakdown of the specific queue's performance, with a breakdown of missed calls and handled calls. Further, you can also click on options below the queue to get additional information. You can see calls in the queue, you can see members and activity logs here. Calls in the queue will show you the calls currently waiting in the queue. Members will show you the status of the agents in the queue. And activity logs will show you the specific actions that agents have done in the previous hour. Eavesdrop, Whisper, and Barge. System admins and agent managers will have the option to eavesdrop, whisper, and barge into an existing call. Eavesdrop allows an agent manager to listen on a queue call. Whisper allows manager to coach and help an agent without the inbound callers being able to hear. And Barge allows the manager to actively join a call so that both the agent and the inbound caller can hear the manager, like a three-way call. In order to eavesdrop, whisper, and barge, first you want to click on the queue's icon in the far left. Then once you see the queue screen, you want to click on the queue that you wish to enter. Then you'll want to mouse over an agent on an active call, and then you will see the option to eavesdrop the call. After choosing to eavesdrop, the agent manager screen will look like this. To whisper, click on the icon where it looks like a person speaking. To barge, click on the icon that looks like an arrow. Please note while on a barge call, if the agent ends the call will end for everyone. So if the agent manager needs to continue speaking with the customer without the agent will need to transfer the call to the agent manager. To end eavesdropping, barging, and whispering, click on the hang up icon at the bottom of the screen.